In this game you run about killing Black Knight while saving White Knight. This is racist!
I don't think this fair will go anywhere good.
Sonic and the Black Knight is the sequel to Sonic and the Secret Rings, and they are similar in a lot of ways. Both have an awesome opening song. Black Knight has not only one of the best opening songs, but one of the best soundtracks in a Sonic game, period. It's like they took the best songs from the Sonic Adventure games and one or two other series and just threw them into one game. And it's a shame it was in Sonic and the Black Knight, and it couldn't have been in something better. Come on, did you expect this game to get a good review? The single player also has a great animated cutscene. You have Merlina, who is running from the menacing King Arthur and his army. She summons Sonic. I summon Sonic! Who dispatches Arthur's army in a flash and squares up to him like an old western. Unfortunately, Merlina grabs Sonic and they escape, and King Arthur orders Shadow, Knuckles and Blaze, Lancelot, Gawain and Percival to
spread out and go after them. Slay them on sight.
This is going to make me seem a bit sexist, but why is Blaze portraying a male fictional character?
Who cares? They're animals, Dr. Says. You're just a sexist piece of shit.
Tails or even Silver would have been a better choice, since the continuity has already been broken. I'm not going to go into it, but if you've played the Sonic games, you know why Blaze should not be here. That aside, I actually like Blaze, who is voiced by Mai Valentine. Also, Caliburn was apparently supposed to be a girl.
Fool.
And Merlina, really? They couldn't have just had Merlin, but whatever. Tails is the Smithy in this game. He has a very small role. I believe he only has one cutscene in the whole game. So they could have made Eggman the Smithy, and Eggman's not in this game. Some Sonic fans get annoyed whenever Eggman's not in a game. I personally don't care. I like Eggman, but he doesn't have to be in every game, I don't think. And as long as they make a good game, I don't care if he's in it or not, to be honest. King Arthur, when he's introduced, he's just this menacing character, and he's like, he reminds me a bit of like someone from Dark Souls. But then you hear him speak and it just lets the whole thing down. Like, it takes away his image. But it's a good voice to put on him. It's an English medieval voice, as you would expect. It just didn't leave as much to the imagination. The rest of the cutscenes are moving stills, which is a slight evolution from Sonic and the Secret Rings, but for me it's not much better. At the end of the day, it's not a big deal to me because that's not why I play games. I don't play games for cutscenes. I play games for the gameplay. The story of this game is Merlina explains that Arthur was bewitched by the scabbard. She gives Sonic a gauntlet, which isn't explained. I guess it helps him wield his sword. Speaking of which, we are thrown into the training level, which introduces us to the controls. You use the Wiimote and nunchuck. In Secret Rings, you only use the Wiimote and you do it like a steering wheel. This time you use the Wiimote to slash your sword. And you also press A twice to do a homing attack, which is absolutely useless in the game. In fact, the homing attack gets in the way because if you want to jump over an enemy, you accidentally press a homing attack and it locks onto them. So I didn't actually have a use for that. At the start of the game, it doesn't explain where Sonic gets his sword. Did Merlina just give it to him off screen? Another subtle difference with the controls is Sonic just jumps. In Secret Rings, you would charge up the jump and he would do like a wee skid. This time you don't need to do that. And also, since you're controlling of the stick, in Secret Rings you kind of have a problem making Sonic stop, but this time you just let go of the stick and he stops on a dime. This is the easiest Sonic game I have ever played. And no, I haven't played Forces, and before anyone asks, it's waggle to win basically. You move the control stick and you just do this the whole time, and your arm gets a bit tired, but you get through the stages just fine for the most part. Secret Rings, you had less control, but it was like driving a car, and the levels were built around that control scheme, and as a result it offered more of a challenge. You're essentially on rails, just knocking down enemies. If you give Sonic full 3D controls, what's the point? What was the point in giving him those controls if you're not going to take advantage of the full 3D environment? Also, when you swing your sword, there's a few delays, unfortunately, because of the Wii's motion controls. And there's also a pretty big delay Once you swing your sword, it takes Sonic a few seconds before you can get up his block, which he can also do. You can use the block if you're looking for a high score in Black Knight, though God help you because of the motion controls. You probably will have to use the block to take care of all the enemies. The problem is you could be waiting a long time and then anybody just stand there and then go, and then the enemy beside him will wait a wee minute and then he'll go. So you can't really do that too much. You just kind of have to swing and hope for the best at times. You also get yellow fairies who act as rings. Each character boss, Blaze, Shadow and Knuckles, let's just call them that.
Yeah, I'll just stick with aliens if that's okay with everybody.
They all have cool armor designs and they actually look really good, like better than their real character designs. The armor all suits their look. All the levels in this game have the same theme: medieval castles and grassy areas. Boring. In Secret Rings you had different themes. One was like a deserty palace, another one was like a dinosaur area. It had a bit more variety to it. The post-game spices things up a little because you have sort of like volcano-y areas, but it's not enough. Spoilers, Merlina is the final villain. And isn't it a bit risky, Merlina helping Sonic find King Arthur's sword Caliburn? I know she wants him to take down King Arthur, but once he defeats King Arthur, that gives him the power to slay her as well. I guess she wasn't thinking that far ahead. As soon as I find Caliburn, Arthur challenges me to a duel straight away and I beat him very easily. And he has the cheek to call me a noob and then run off with his tail in between his legs. Then we have a cutscene of Caliburn saying that he's lost his edge. Though personally, there's actually no difference when he does get sharpened, ironically. It would have been nice to do like, oh, he gets an extra attack stat or something, but no.
Ha! Not the sharpest tool in the shed, huh?
That's because a gentleman shouldn't have such an edge.
I think I'll use that one in future.
Why do flowers bloom, knowing they are destined to wither?
Well, we couldn't have that now. Throughout the levels you have villagers and you can stop and give these villagers rings by doing quick time events. I don't know why you can't just give them the rings. You have to do a little dance for them, I guess. You get occasional mandatory missions like this. The rest of the missions, they're optional, so if you want the high score, I suggest you do it, but again, why would you do that? They also help you build followers. I didn't bother with this. I don't understand social media in real life, so I'm not going to understand it in a video game either. After the level, you unlock collectible items. For the most part, I didn't care about this either. Occasionally, I found out that it's a hidden feature, basically. Well, it looked hidden anyway, where you go to the blacksmith and you can equip items to certain characters, like Sonic. You could equip, like, say, an item that makes him a bit faster. It didn't happen that often, but that's the only use I had for the items. What I want to know is, how did Sega go from my favourite Sonic game on the Wii with Sonic Unleashed, with my least favourite with Sonic and the Black Knight, in the space of a year? The Sonic team like divide their staff into different subsidiaries and go, right, you guys do the Storybook series, you guys do the good games, and so on. Is that how it works? Like in Secret Rings and a few other Sonic games, you can't really backtrack. Say if you needed to get to a villager, guess what, you can't do that. You have to keep pressing on. You can only do about like 2 backflips before you hit an invisible wall, and the backflip's very slow. Secret Rings, you have more of an excuse because you were tilting and it gave you a bit more control, but here it seems a bit pointless, to be honest. You're scored on a lot of things, like time, enemies killed, combos, rings, followers. It's a bit too much even for a Sonic game. When I seen Sonic stand up to King Arthur, I thought, this guy's actually kind of cool.
I'm Sonic the Hedgehog, Knight of the Wind. Let's settle this once and for all, King Arthur.
It seems your impersonation of a knight has improved somewhat.
I have you to thank for that.
Then let us have another look at that unsightly swordsmanship.
You're gonna be sorry you asked.
I am immortal. You cannot defeat me.
Wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
I shall not be defeated. If you defeat me, I will simply return again and again. I am immortal. I cannot be vanquished.
That can't be.
How can this be?
No!
have orders from the king. Have you any last words?
Merlina!
There was never any King Arthur.
Huh?
Well done. And thank you, Sonic.
Wait, don't give that to her. Ask her what she meant by that.
With this scabbard, I can erase my grandfather's greatest mistake.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
What?
I shall make this kingdom eternal.
See? I told you women are taking over the world. We must get over here.
We must survive!
Sonic, you're full of shit. As I said, the Wiimote swings don't always register, and this is particularly painful against the second battle with King Arthur, where you need to be very precise with your swings to get through that boss battle. Like in Secret Rings, you also get a soul gauge, and it's a little different than in Secret Rings as you have Soul Surge, which is a special attack that usually lets you perform strong, accurate slashes by slowing down time. And if there's no enemies, it'll do like a high-speed rush. You build up this by killing enemies. Post-game, after King Arthur's second battle, you can play as Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze. Shadow is the worst, surprisingly. He has a short-range ground attack and an air attack. His best move is he uses Chaos Control as his Soul Surge, and he pretty much like teleports and kills enemies in front of him. But it's not enough to make him good. Isn't this guy supposed to be the ultimate life form? Knuckles is my favourite character to play as in this game, even though he has the most annoying personality in the whole game, and he's full of angst.
To lose to a mere apprentice! I have been disgraced! Only death can remove this stain upon my honor.
Give me a break! What's up with all this drama?
Silence! Silence, I say!
He's surprisingly the one that clashes with Sonic the most. I thought they would have made Shadow into that, but no, it's Knuckles. He has this attack where he's just flailing his swords in front of you like a child, and it actually works really well because it attacks like everything around you, so when an enemy comes up to me, gets hit. There's a little bit of trade-off with the control because you're kind of stopping in place, and once you stop doing that, you'd be open to attack, but he's still pretty good. And he can also glide for a short while, so this is very handy to fly over enemies if you just want to get through the stage. Also, when he's gliding, he can swoop down and slam enemies below him. He has a long-ranged Soul Surge attack as well. I'd say his biggest weakness is there was one level where I was running on this electric wire and he seemed a bit slow. I had to pick another character, but for the most part he's a pretty good character. Then finally we have Blaze. Blaze can double jump, which is more handy than the homing attack. She has a bit of a unique attack pattern of her sword. Her Soul Surge is a flame tornado that you can control and kill everyone in your path. It's pretty good. The characters default on balance, but you can change them to speed and power. There's no real reason I find to keep on balance. It's like being a jack of all trades but master of none. You really want a specialty, so I like the speed one the best, just to get through the levels. You can also give items to all characters. You can craft weapons for everyone but Sonic because he has Caliburn and you can't swap Caliburn out. Probably would have been nice to upgrade Caliburn, but it makes sense, I suppose. These weapons all offer different benefits like increased speed, rings, yada yada yada. You get the point. I can see people liking this better than the upgrade system in Secret Rings, which I actually have a soft spot for that because I like RPGs. It's arguable that it shouldn't be an upgrade, just giving Sonic better control, like in Secret Rings. Now for the final battle, we have one of the coolest transformations in history, along with an awesome rock track and a boss who is easier than the illusion we fought of King Arthur and a dragon that Sonic and Shadow. No! It looks nothing like the Bio Lizard from Sonic Adventure 2. Wait a minute. God damn it. So after beating Merlina, Sonic lets her off scot-free. Probably because she's hot.
Would have thought I was the real King Arthur.
Wait, what?
That's the lamest excuse ever. You just forgot about our date.
So I guess that means none of this ever happened. The game is
4 hours
long, so that's the main story, but we're not done. There's also a battle mode which you can have up to 4 people fight each other using the sword gameplay. It looks like an alright pastime, but good luck finding somebody who'll try it with you. I certainly couldn't. You can unlock characters like Shadow, Sun, Silver, and Blaze's brother, Jet the Hawk. Also, a little tiny thing you can do is you can create your own wee emblem. You have limited options, but it shows up after you complete a level. And it's better than nothing, I guess. It's like something you could do on a browser. It's cute, I suppose. So what would I give this game? I would give this game a C. It is passable, believe it or not. It is considered by fans and me to be one of the best soundtracks in Sonic's history. The Storybook series also has decent stories, which exceeds most Sonic games. Not as good as the adventure games, but you get the point. The actual gameplay itself, you can argue, is polished. There's no bugs. The inaccuracy of the Wiimote motion controls makes it a bit difficult to slog through. I don't know how anyone can get like a high score on this. Like, you need accurate controls just to attempt that, I believe. It plays like an on-rails hack and slasher rather than a Sonic game. Sonic has a load of spin-offs, so take it at what you will. All the levels have a similar theme with similar enemies, which is dull. Personally, I would say just watch the cutscenes and listen to the soundtrack on YouTube. You'll have a much better time than having to slog through this game with shoddy motion controls. Hello guys, hope you're having a fantastic day. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and to subscribe for more videos. Bye!